ladies, gentlemen.
Are we live?
What? We're live? We're live?
It's on the other camera.
Are we in the other camera?
Yes.
Awesome. Are we on this camera? Are we live?
I guess so.
We're live again?
I think we're live.
Get the music.
I think we're live.
Cue the music.
Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Party time.
Okay.
Cool. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough. How are you doing today, Nick?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you good? I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Today's your day, right?
Today's my day.
Yeah, it's your day to talk more.
Yes. Last week we had a mindset workshop with you.
Yeah.
And now we're doing the same but totally opposite.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about me.
You're going to talk about you and what you do and the breathing and how when can you breathe?
What?
That's
Hopefully every day, all day.
Lots of times.
Loads of times. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, so we're talking about like me, not per se me, but there's a little part about me.
Nice. Get to know a little bit about the beard.
Yeah, exactly. But also how I came into this breathing stuff. And
cool.
Well, from day one, the moment I was born, I started breathing, and I hope you did it.
You started good.
And I started. Yeah. I started fine. Yeah. And hopefully everybody that is listening right now had the same experience of taking their first breath, like straight from the womb. There we go. I started crying. Hopefully the breathing stayed, but the crying left.
Yeah.
Although, like occasionally crying it's
okay.
Seems to be good for you, right?
Yeah, right.
Talking about mindset. So yeah, the idea, like mindset and breathing, or the way we use breathing as a like breath work, so to speak, has a lot of connections with your mindset workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oxygen is good for you. That's what you heard.
Exactly. Yeah, it seems to be good for you.
And it's good as you say that breath work, because it's different than, it's different than just breathing.
Yeah,
right?
well,
you can improve your normal breathing, but you can also do breath work.
Exactly. Yeah. Breathing is what we do every day, and that's the breathing is part of the autonomic nervous system, right? It just happens.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't have to think.
No, you don't have to think about it, which is fine. Otherwise, you couldn't do anything else other than thinking about like breathing in, breathing out all day long. Yeah, exactly. So that takes a lot of your time. And then you have to think about like peeing and pooing and eating and and even talk actively think about digesting your food, which is part of the same nervous system. So
you might forget something.
Right. So yeah, talking about mindfulness, you might forget something. So yeah, that's I don't know. That's going to be a busy day.
Yeah.
Right? So the good news is that you don't have to think about breathing. The other good news is that we are the only like animal species that can actively alter their breath, right? So we can actively think. If I tell you to hold your breath, what do you do? Exactly. Or you can breathe again. There you go. All right. So we can actively change our breath and therefore change our state. Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. Keep track of time.
Yeah.
So which is funny that we can change our breath just by thinking about it. It goes also the other way around. Our breath changes not by thinking about it. And then I mean in states of stress and all that stuff, which is also part of the nervous system, which I will come back to later.
Yeah.
Our breath changes throughout the day.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wake up in the morning, it's more likely that your breath is easy and relaxed and long. But if you have a very stressful day, then it might be more common to like breathe higher to your chest, and your breathing rate is also higher.
Yeah. Same goes if you do a workout. You're probably going to get more out of breath, right?
Exactly.
Happens naturally. You don't have to do anything with it.
Yeah. Which is for some people sometimes a bit scary to have a higher breath rate.
Yeah.
And like talking from experience also, I can imagine that it's not very comfortable to be out of breath, right?
Yeah.
Your like on the same level as of like fan base level from running, right? You love running, same
Love
as I
it.
do. Yeah,
Love it.
exactly. It's so good. Not. uh, well, the idea is that if you have a sprint workout or a very heavy workout, that you have that like raspy feeling in your throat. Like I hate it.
Yeah, the one where you start coughing afterwards. That one, the
Yes.
worst one, like the assault bike one or the sprint
yeah.
on the rower one,
Yeah.
like a 500 meter or the 1,000 meter sprint.
Yeah, the actual CrossFitters know like that friend feeling that you have. That's like super annoying feeling in your throat, like that taste, that mild taste of like iron, that bloody
little
like,
blood taste. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
All right, so that's also a part of breathing.
Yeah, and a lot of what you said, I think a lot of people are scared to go there. I think a lot of people don't go there because they are afraid to lose control.
Yep.
But is it a bad thing?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. And the good thing also is that you can train, right? It's part of the workout.
Yeah.
But we tend to think that doing a workout works on the muscles only, right? Not per se muscles only. If you do a workout, your exactly, your stamina goes up, your strength goes up, your flexibility goes up, all that stuff. But nobody ever talks about a better breath rate, right? Instead of breathing 20 times per minute, which is very high, but most common in people with a lot of stress, because they're in a constant state of as if they're jogging the entire day.
Yeah, and that's just because of the mind work.
Yeah. Mindset, mind work, the systems that are running on a higher pace.
Yeah.
I always make the translation to a car. Right? If you have a car, if you know how to drive a car, if you have a car and you start it and it's running stationary, right? It's going nowhere.
Yeah.
But the engine is running and you hear the right? The motor's running. If I put my car in neutral and I put my foot on the gas, right? You hear the engine go up. That is what your body's doing in a stress state. You're going nowhere, but you're running on a higher level, right? Internally.
Burning a little bit more gas.
Exactly, and therefore you're burning up or burning out.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly, and you can feel it on your heart rate. You can feel it with your breathing. If your breath goes higher or heavier, most likely that you're doing a lot more work without necessarily going anywhere.
All right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, well, breathing in everyday life, but we also have breathing in workouts, right?
We should be.
We should be.
We did one or two where we did like total mouth closed.
Taping, yep.
Almost no oxygen in and then sprinting.
Yeah.
Also awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally different, but
yeah.
it's still a little bit of oxygen and just for a short amount of time. So
yeah, exactly.
but most of the time you get to breathe.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I can still remember the feeling of the assault bike with tape on your mouth and then go all out. And then you have like a very strict restriction is that you like without like ripping the tape off your mouth, you cannot breathe through your mouth, right, at that time. Yeah, and then going all out, which is a pure fight state, like a stress state.
Yeah.
All you want to do. Yeah. Open your mouth and suck in all that air as much as possible. Which goes hand in hand with that stress state.
Yeah.
We spoke about earlier. If you're in a very like we are connecting in this way. I'm kind of relaxed, right? We're having a conversations, but I'm kind of relaxed. In this phase, we call a flow state or a rest and digest, right?
Yeah.
I can eat, I can drink, I can digest it without having to think about it.
Yeah.
Same as breathing. I don't have to think about it. It just happens.
Yeah.
Which is a flow state. My heart rate is lower, my breath rate is lower. Not necessarily now because I'm talking, but normally my heart rate and breath rate are lower. If I'm doing something that is giving me some sort of anxiety or a little bit of stress, maybe my heart rate goes up, my breath rate goes up, and instead of digesting, my body's not focusing more on digesting, but now pumping blood to my legs and arms. because I might want to have a fight or run away. Right? I have to fight or flee.
So you won't digest that good if you're
No.
constantly in stress continuously, or
No. There's no need to digest if you're in a state of survival.
Yeah.
Right. The state of survival says that you need to get the hell out of there or fight for your life, and your body doesn't care about that fancy broccoli that you just ate. Right.
Yeah.
It's pumping sugar through your body for fast energy. Yeah. For you to either run or fight. Yeah. Which in both cases is mobilization, either going towards or going away from.
Yeah. So when it's in a workout, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do something with it.
Yeah.
But in a normal situation, you want to switch this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that possible to switch from one to the other thing?
Yeah. What happens in a stress state, a fight or flight response, is that, like I said, your heart rate goes up and your breath rate goes up. The first thing that you need to do is being aware of it.
Yeah.
Right? The easiest thing to be aware of your state at this very moment is just to close your eyes, put your hand on your stomach or on your belly and a hand on your chest. You can do it right now. Hand on your chest, hand on your belly. Everybody else is doing this with us. Like, do the same thing as Nick. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Right. Hold it at the top for a moment and let it out with a big exhale, like a sigh of relief. And then just feel, like, hold on for a moment, feel what kind of state you are. Where's your heart? Like, how do you breathe at this moment? Do you need to breathe already? Are you breathing fast or slow, high or low?
Yeah, for me, if I was like this, I'm quite relaxed, but I'm a quite relaxed person, I think, in general.
Yeah.
I don't stress that fast. So, but I always like this. I like to reset.
Yeah.
It's not even just to release of stress, and it's just more of getting back to myself, because too many times we're from the outside, we have too many impulses.
Yep.
So it's good to reset a little. And a lot of people are inside their brain the entire day, right? We know a lot of people like that who are thinking the entire day. So it's really good to reset. And like you said, if you feel stress, you're going to feel it immediately.
Yep.
Because we did multiple breathwork stuff, right here. And I can volunteer. That's a nice thing about my life right now.
Yeah.
So I can work on it.
Getting all the benefits.
All the benefits. And like because I'm here the entire day and we shoot videos and that sort of stuff. So sometimes it's not like I'm stressed, but I'm working. So I'm moving the entire time. Yeah. And for me, it's just a state check will already bring me back, or just a little bit more relaxed and just get me there. Yeah. So it's already a good one.
That one thing that we just did is super easy. It's just like feel with your hand, where's your heart? Is your belly moving or is your chest moving? Like taking one big breath and a sigh of relief feels like an actual sigh of relief. Like what do you do when you're stressed? Right? It's that that little like stress release from your state.
That's what we talked about also with mindset, right? It's sometimes it's fake it till you make it. So if you do something, your body will react to it. The same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So with that thing alone, you have a state check. Let's call it a state check. Yeah. You check in with your state. Where are you now? And then you know, right? And then you can change something. Yeah. If you feel fine, then you feel fine. And it's okay to be stressed at some point.
Yeah. So all right, if I notice, like we're talking about stress, so if I notice I'm breathing towards my chest more, I'm breathing quite fast when I do my state check.
Yeah.
What's the next step?
The next step is to be aware of what you want to achieve.
Right.
Right. If you're having a busy work day, and your energy is needed.
Yeah.
Right. You need to do. You need to give another workout.
Yeah.
In your case, for example, you need to be at that level of energy where you can express yourself on a high rate, right? And then be there and be present. You don't want to be like all Zen mode and yogi style.
No.
Right. So then you are aware that your heart is going a little faster and your breath rate is going a little faster. That's fine. Right. Keep it that way if that's needed. Right. Yeah. If you're on a job and you're doing your work, but you need to find that deadline, then it's fine to be in a little bit more rushy state, as long as it's not bothering you.
Yeah.
Right. If your mind is going all over the place, you don't feel fine. You feel rushed. Right.
Yeah.
You cannot concentrate anymore. Right. Then you are aware. That's the case of the state check.
So if let's sketch something out. Right. So let's say there's a woman, she has to work from home because it's
Yep.
normal these
Yep.
days. Have to teach her kids, still has to work from home.
Yep.
Husband is nagging. Did a workout yesterday, but today she's like, it's just total. It's always on. She just needs to go.
Yeah.
And she just wants a little bit of peace and quiet, but she doesn't have much time to do it. But she needs to almost reset, right?
Yeah.
Like think about, all right, just have like not that much time, but let's say 15 minutes. Is that enough time to give me a little bit of relaxation without taking a nap? Let's say, right?
Yeah.
Some people take a nap, and it's could help you also benefit from some energy.
Yep.
But because there's a lot of busy days, there's almost everywhere, there's always people around you.
Yep.
So I get that people are a little bit stressed or on edge right now,
Yeah,
and we need to take an edge off.
Right.
So what kind of advice, or what would you do with a person like that, and what's beneficial to start breathing different or taking that time?
Yeah. Well, in that case, I would always start with, like, at random moments, you can do this multiple times a day. Just do that state check. Right?
Yeah.
The moment you wake up, do a state check. How do I feel? Like, still lying in bed. The moment, like, even before opening up your eyes, do a state check. How do I wake up? Okay, so this is my level for today.
That's good that you say, because some people are up and they think, oh my God, I have to do so many things today.
Yeah.
My alarm went off. Fuck, all right, I have to do it all right now.
Yeah. Or even worse, hit the snooze button.
Yeah. Fuck it. Not for the next 9 minutes.
Exactly.
9 minutes most of the time.
So do a state check. How do you feel now? Then start with that big sigh of relief, right? You take a big sip of air in all the way, and then fill up your chest and your lungs and your belly, and then feel that pressure, feel that internal stretch.
Yeah.
Right? It feels great. It might feel the same as if you take a big yawn, right? A big yawn. It always feels like you're probably yawning right now at this moment. If I say yawn one more time, you're going to yawn. See? Here's go. Here he goes.
Nice.
So that feels relaxing, right? Because it takes that pressure off. That's the idea. It takes that pressure off. And then if you are in a rushed state, the best thing to do is lengthen your exhale, right? Inhale is always the stress part. See, if I scare you, I spook you, I boom. Yeah. What do? This, right? That's the stress response. Brace for impact. That. Exhaling is the relaxation part, right? If you think about the anatomy, the diaphragm, that's the muscle that's in your, like, under your rib cage. That's the muscle. That's the breathing muscle. Yep. If you contract the muscle, it sucks in air. If you relax the muscle, it relaxes it. Your air falls out, so to speak. Go through your day all day.
Yeah.
funny conversations you have then. You squeeze your diaphragm and you relax it.
Yeah.
So to relax more, what you could do is lengthen your exhale. Just take a normal breath in, not all the way, but just a normal breath in, and then see how long you can exhale, right? Through your nose or through your mouth. Yep. Here we go. So through your nose or through your mouth, exhaling doesn't really matter. Inhaling through your nose always for relaxation, right? Nose is for breathing, your mouth is for eating. You can do a lot more fun stuff with your mouth, by the way. Talking, singing. I don't know. Nose is for breathing. So take a breath in through your nose and then exhale through your nose or mouth, and then long. See how long you can exhale. And maybe if you have like 10 to 15 minutes, just sit somewhere with your eyes closed, like in a meditative state. That's a hard word to pronounce.
Right. Meditative.
Meditative sound. And just focus on your breathing, right? And see how slow you can exhale. Just a normal breath in, and how long can you exhale?
Nice.
Right? And maybe over time you will find that you go longer and longer and longer. And if you just focus and keep your focus on your breath, you will go more inwards.
Yeah.
Right? And then find relaxation there.
Yeah. Because it's hard to think about other things while you're thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then because it will happen if you're just breathing for 5 minutes or for 50 or for 15 or 50 hours, whatever, your grocery list, your shopping list, your
Yeah.
to-do list, your whatever shit you have to do, it will come up.
It's
right?
always weird when a lot of people haven't done this before, right? So when people, like I said, we did quite some different stuff from within a group and one-on-ones and that sort of stuff. So it's always weird to explain it to people that you will turn inside. So when people, I always say when people have a hard time meditating, because I like to meditate sometimes, but it's easier if you think about something. And it's weird because you want to forget what you think about, but if you think about the breathing pattern that you're in, you're going to forget a lot, and you're going to focus on the right stuff. So that it's just a shifting of focus. A lot of people think when they're meditating, it's just think about nothing. How hard is to think about nothing? What is nothing? What is nothing? All right, nothing.
It's
pink elephant.
Almost, exactly.
Fuck, pink elephant.
It's almost impossible. Right.
So it's good to shift the focus on something. And I love that you say that, because I think that will already help a lot of people. And just trying it. Right, just take a step and try it. 5 minutes, try it out, and let's see what happens.
Enough. Even 1 minute. Even 1 minute is enough. Like take 4 or 5 breaths and then see how you feel. Right, it's enough. That's the entire thing with meditating, like you said, and like mindfulness. It's like all like sort of the same thing. There's no goal in meditating. Right, you don't have a task such as in a workout. Right, you have a time to beat, or you have 3 rounds X and then an M rep. It doesn't work that way. Meditate for time, no, and then close your eyes. I need to meditate. I need to meditate. I need to meditate. It doesn't work that way. And then you don't need to find relaxation. You just are. Right, you sit there and just be quiet for a moment. And then how often are we actually quiet? Almost never.
Or without a screen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, what do you exactly? What do you do?
It's so busy.
Yeah. What do you do when you go to the toilet? You bring your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of us do. Yeah.
Yeah. And you start scrolling.
Yeah.
Through whatever, like news, bank accounts, like whatever.
You know, that's one of the things I did, like mindset seminar not too long ago, right? The one of the first thing I said, all right, next you're gonna have a toilet break. Do not bring your phone, right? He says, everything you see on there is going to make you tense up. But when you do on the toilet, you don't want to tense up. You want to relax, right? So I love that. It's just a simple thing, but it really is like that. You want to relax instead of tense up. But
exactly.
You're not going to be there for a fucking hour, probably. Hope not.
Some of us do, but like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Let's go for a mindful poo. Let's go for a mindful poo like next time that you go. So yeah, same goes for like running. Like if you like Nick, ever go for a run, or maybe you, like, I don't know, like who goes for a run with earpods in, like listening to music, which is fine. But you're constantly like putting information in your brain. If it's music, if it's a book, like listen to a book. I started listening to a book like recently, and it works great. But that's another topic. But there's constant information pumping in your brain. Like, where is the time to relax? Right?
When it's time to feel yourself, because you're only thinking about external things. So you're getting back to, because once you have music, when I did some running in my time, come on, I did some of it.
For the bus, maybe.
I did some things.
From the cars.
But when I did it on a beat, I'm quite sensitive to music. I love music, so you
wouldn't say.
So I run faster or slower because of the beat. No, it's never my own pace. No. It really is not, because when I like the music and it's fast beat, come on, and I go faster, and then when after like a minute I'm out of breath, and I'm like, oh, how did that happen? But I never felt my own body.
Drum and bass song.
When because it's a secret, I run really sometimes. I only run on the beach, cool. And when I do it, I always do it without and on my bare foot, bare feet, and then I try to feel myself, right? Just thinking about nothing and water and nice stuff.
Like really actual mindful running.
Because then, and also there I think about my breathing, because I try to get a pattern in. Because I'm not good at running. I'm trying to get a pattern to continually keep it going.
That's a good one that you bring that up, because also don't like running that much, but I do like the feeling that it gives me afterwards, that I've done something, I accomplished something. But also, like, sometimes even in the run, like, and that's the next part that we're going to, is that if your running pace is good enough and it suits you and it fits you, it doesn't need to be fast, it doesn't need to be slow, it just needs to be good enough for you to maintain for 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes, whatever. And you can link your breath to it. Like, see what I do, like 3 steps in and then 4 or 5 steps out.
You also, I have to double.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's
it
always
depends.
on the
Like when I start, it's like 3 on 4, and if I go faster, it's like 2 on 3, something.
Right.
I don't know, or two on 4.
It's even. It's 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try this sometime. But that's and then you're fully focused on your breath. And then I started like a while back on because I was always running with my mouth open, because I thought it was like, if you're working out, you need to have
Catching
big
flies.
mouth breaths, catching flies and free protein, like a whale, a human whale. But now I started running with my mouth shut and it just focusing on nose breathing, which was hard the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was like semi good at running, but I sucked. Like, literally I sucked the air in through my nose, but I sucked like running. It was so much harder. But then all of a sudden I got the hang of it.
Yeah.
And the good part is that what I just explained, if you have that sensation and it all goes like nothing, that's your flow state.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you do something that it's challenging enough, but also in a level of competence, like, for instance, I don't know, I cannot play the piano, right? But somebody else can, and then he or she will find a flow state on playing the piano. For me, it's frustrating because I cannot do it. Yeah, bing, and that's it. Right? There's no flow state there.
You can also probably do.
Yeah, ring. Yeah. And I can play that Chinese like.
Yeah, really? Oh,
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you got some
That's
skill.
the only thing. Yeah, and maybe I have a little bit of release in me. That's it, right? But running, on the other hand, if you have your breathing right, you can walk for kilometers without thinking about it, and then even enjoy the view. And I like running in the dunes and the beach, because it's like, it's hills, it's sand, it's dunes, it's different, like it's forest and dunes like mixed together. And I like just the smell of being in nature, and then the sounds of like birds and whatever, like fairy tales or
Crocodiles.
crocodiles.
Where are you running?
Never found a crocodile though. No. I ran into it, like, not into, like I was running and I almost bumped into a deer, and by almost I mean like 25 meters apart.
But tripped over it.
Almost tripped over it. No, it was cool. And then you, like I said, fairy tale, but you almost feel as if you're running in a fairy tale. Like, if you can, like, the next corner you see Snow White plucking whatever. Maybe you should stop eating mushrooms.
Yeah, that's so magical.
Yeah. What is its flow state doing with me? No kidding. But that's the flow state, right? And that's super nice, and you can take that for a long time. And if I go running, like, it's like 30 minutes, like maybe even up to an hour, I think I can do it in that state. Yeah,
and it's not going to get you too much stress, right? Because it's a flow state.
No. It's actually like stress release. Work, because it's so relaxing. But now, like, we're playing with breath work, we can also take it up a notch, right? Doing a workout, there will be a state that it's more tasking, it's more challenging. Maybe you add some weights, you're lifting barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever, and you have a time to beat, and maybe there's someone standing next to you that goes just that little bit faster, right? Or just has a little heavier weight. So you want to keep up and just do your best. You cannot maintain it just by nose breathing alone. If you want to go fast, you need to have that stress response a bit. So in that case, it is fine to breathe in and out through your mouth.
Yeah, a lot of people either what I noticed is when a lot of people are working out and going into that further on stage, they don't have a rhythm anymore, or they hold their breath, which is still give them a rhythm of breathing, even though they're getting out of breath, so to speak, so they cannot breathe in through the nose. You just still have a breathing. And I always say, don't hold your breath, right? Because if you want fresh oxygen in, right, for your muscles, but
and holding your breath, if it's you see it in a heavy lift as well, like people bracing for a heavy back squat, big gulp of air, and then what you see is like through the mouth. If you can see it on the camera, you take a big breath in through your chest, but now there's no more core activation, right? It's super hard to have that core activation if you do that, right? And then bracing means that you like squeeze your muscles as hard as you can. Yeah. But you can squeeze, you can brace without taking that much air in, right? Yeah. You can just squeeze your core without taking a big gulp of air. So there's no need to do that.
One of the best powerlifters of the world. I like to watch those videos too because it makes me feel less strong. And he had a sort of a breathing rhythm before he was lifting. So he already did a couple of big breaths beforehand. Then he started to stand under his bar, and he did it was for a squat. So he did a half a breath in. Hold that breath, racked it out, and then before he got down, he did a couple of like bracing harder, and there's just a few more inhales, and he wasn't all the way in. He says, when I take it all the way in, it's all like I don't even have the control anymore because it's too far open. So he does half a breath and then a couple of extra just to make sure he can push well. And then on the way up, it's just all out.
Exactly. Yeah. I see it as a can of like a cola, like soda, right? If it's closed and you put it on the floor, you can stand on top of it. It is that strong. Yeah. Right. See as your core muscles as the sides of the can. Yeah. And then your diaphragm and pelvic floor is the top and the bottom. Right. If it's closed. It's super strong. Yeah. Like sitting like this, squeeze your core as hard as you can, and then you feel like hopefully everybody else does as well. You feel your abs, you feel your like the sides, the back. It's the entire like circle, right? That's your core, exactly. Now, while squeezing, see if you can breathe in through your nose, and then while you cannot breathe in that much, but see how much pressure. Little by little. Exactly. See how much pressure you have built up, and then think about having a heavy bar on top of your back, like 100, 200 kilos, whatever. Yeah,
50.
50. Broomstick.
Yeah, broomstick.
But and then see how much pressure is built up there. Yeah, right. That's good enough. But taking that big breath in through your mouth, first of all, it is a stress response. Like if I scare you, what do? It is a pure stress response. But then holding your breath, it doesn't like go anywhere. No, you can use that breath. Yeah. And then what I always do is either depends on the weight. Breathe in on the way down. Let's the example of a back squat. Breathe in on the way down. While going down, you compress your body just a little bit more, and by breathing in, you compress from the other side as well. Yeah. So the compression, the core compression gets tighter. Yeah. Right. At the bottom where you need. It's
not right. It's a small.
Yeah.
It's I can because you already have that much tension, so it's just a small inhale.
Yeah. 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 But I rhyme it to the movement. So if as I go down, I breathe in. Yeah, exactly. Then at the bottom, I want to explode up as heavy as hard as I can because that weight is heavy. So what I do in that case is either press my lips together and then like breathe out as hard as I can, right? Because that gives pressure as well. Yeah. Like, see if you can put your lips together as hard as you can, but still let some air out. You just make it look sexy. That's right. Exactly. So see, but now, like if you're doing this, put your lips together and then breathe. See? What's your core doing?
It's expanding.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's tension right there.
Tension,
right? So going down, you breathe in through your nose, finding that compression, and then you reverse it by breathing out through your lips and then still adding that pressure, right? If the weight is super heavy, and then I guess some of you that had like worked out with me once heard me scream, right? I like to like scream out loud and then get that air out.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Also, by screaming loud, it gives a little bit more of that stress response. It gives a little bit more like kicking the balls to go heavier and harder.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you do when you fight. That's what you do
Yeah.
when you run away.
You hear fighters or karate people, you
Yeah.
always hear either
Yeah.
a hard exhale
Yeah.
or really ha
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. You know,
Exactly.
because
it works.
It works. It gives
Yeah.
you it gives power up when you make noise. There comes air with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's explosive.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
But that is for one rep, maybe two,
Yeah.
maybe three. It's a bit weird to do it if you're doing 50 kettlebell swings per time. Maybe on the last round of like 100,000 repetitions, like then it's pure survival. So you know you have to know where to put it, right? So yeah, breathing for flow and breathing for stress.
Then let's go once again into the extremes, right? When we taste blood and when we go into a breath where we feel like it could feel like you're never returning, or you or it's so far that you're suffocating.
Yeah.
Right. That's the extreme.
Pure
in
extreme.
workouts we don't do that much. We do once in a while. We want you to go that, but it, like we said, it's hard for people to get there.
Everybody and then like everybody like me included, obviously, holds in.
Yeah.
Right. We never go to our actual maximum.
No, and
because
even
it's
to go
scary.
there, to go far, it is scary because, but I think it helps so much with improving also the breath work.
Yeah.
Knowing that you can lose control to gain it back.
Yeah.
Right? Is already such a big thing because you think, oh, if I do this, I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
But that's that spot where it scares you. If you go a little bit beyond it, like you said, you're never going to go 100%. If you're on the Olympics and you want to get gold, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Then you have the biggest chance because you think, all right, this is it. This is my moment. I need it. And then you have such external motivation to get into that.
Yeah.
But else, it's probably not going to get there.
No.
But you can get pretty far. And it is beneficial. You know, it's not just for us to see people suffer.
No. Sometimes it's good to find your actual max potential. But if you that's the difference. Are you doing a workout because you want to do a workout, or are you training for something? Like you mentioned Olympics, like if you go to the Olympics, the chances are bigger that you have reached or like gone over your max during training, and that you hold back just a little bit during the competition, because there's a big chance, there's a big risk of failure in the actual competition. If that is on the line, then you play it safe, right? But in a training, if you feel fine, you feel strong, you feel confident, then you go, right? You go.
Yeah. You really get into the real fight or flight. When you go all out, you're getting into a zone where it's more than stress. I think. Right. I've went a couple of times really deep in trainings. And I've really had a couple of times where it really felt like survival. Right? It's not a case of survival, right? No. It's because you're in a safe environment. I was at the time, but it really is. And like I did a couple of VO2 max tests, but then really to VO2 max you have to go all out, right? And then that's fucking horrific.
Did you do that on a bike with a mask on, or?
Yeah, I did it. I did it once to test for. At the time, I wanted to. It was a long time ago. Wanted to try out for Navy. So I did the test, right? And you also have to do. Then at the time, you had to do that test as well. And I did once in my education for sport science, you know, sport. And we had to do a couple of tests, and this was one of it. Fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. And but that was not with there was a different test, but still all out. And then just on the watts and that sort of stuff, and on heart rate. I think a lot of people don't know that heart rate and breathing and your lungs, how hard they need to work, is almost 100% connected to each other.
Yeah, there's a big correlation.
It's not exactly 100% because you could have one of the two could be a little bit different, but it's so well connected. If you
like going back all the way to the beginning, if you have your hand on your chest and one on your belly, and you can actually feel, and it's even better if you can do this without your hand on your chest or your belly. But just go inwards and feel your heart. And then see if you can feel it when you breathe in, and what happens if you exhale, right? When you breathe
Especially
in,
on a long exhale, right?
yeah, exactly, yeah. When you inhale, your heart rate goes up just a little bit. If you hold your breath, especially on the top, then there's a little bit compression because the heart and then the lungs are overlapping on the heart, right? A lot of people think that the heart is like on the side, but it's actually on the middle.
It's just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, but the lungs are overlapping. So if you breathe in, then there's pressure on the heart. So what the heart is doing is it pounds just a little bit harder. You can feel it. If you breathe in all the way to the top, then you feel that extra pound, right? If you exhale, you feel that pressure is taking off your heart, and then it slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? So you can play with that.
Yeah.
That is also there's a big thing about like stress, and then let's talk like I don't know. Let's call it flexibility of your heart in a way, or at least heart rhythm. Is that it has the ability to go fast and slows down, and go fast and slows down.
Yeah.
If you are stressed and it's at the bigger chances that it's at this constant level, like it's just pounding.
Yeah.
Right. There's no actual rhythm in it. That's a whole different topic, right? We go pretty deep now. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah. What I wanted to say was different levels in the workouts. And then finding that actual like stress, like hyperventilation, like scary part of being in a workout, that you have the idea that you cannot come back from this.
Yeah.
So what happens, we started with the flow state, just breathing through your nose in and out, and there's a normal rhythm. If you start a workout and you keep breathing through your nose, breathing gets a little heavier, but there's still a little a sort of a rhythm to it, and you can maintain that nose breath. If it goes another level up, you might want to exhale through your mouth. You can still breathe in through your mouth, but you want to exhale through your mouth because you want to get rid of more air.
Yeah.
But also the rate is higher. Going up again, there's another level where you actually need to breathe in through your mouth. Let's say going for a heavy sumo deadlift, you want to pump yourself up.
Yeah.
We just spoke about it. If I scare you, you do that. That's a quick stress response.
Yeah.
What do you want to do for a big clean or a big like sumo deadlift or a deadlift or something that is super heavy? You need to do it once or maybe twice. 3 times is also fine. What you can do prior to that lift or prior to that movement is to take in like 5 deep breaths in through your mouth, like big,
build it up.
Yeah, build it up, and then even to a point like 3, 4, 5 reps. Breathing where you feel sort of lightheaded, right? That oxygen high. It takes that. It's a mild head rush.
Yeah.
And then going for that lift, you feel so much stronger because you've did the mouth breathing. You pumped yourself up with oxygen, and you have that chemical stress response, right? And then by chemical stress response, I mean what happens on the stress response is that cortisol and adrenaline, or testosterone and adrenaline are running through your body. Yeah. Yeah. And I just recently found out that if you are in a fight state or in a flight state, if you're in a fight state and you're like not mentally thinking, but you know that you can handle this stress, what happens is that testosterone and adrenaline are pumping through your body, and that your heart is pumping more blood to your upper body in order to fight. Yeah. Because how do you fight? Exactly, with your fists, right? You just pound your arms. Yeah. Maybe if you are into karate or whatever, taekwondo,
you can use legs, but
you can use your legs, but it's not.
Most of us
primal instinct is to like slap faces and scratch and poke eyeballs, whatever. Right, that's the response. So that's what happens. Testosterone, which is that let's call it very simple male hormone. Yeah. But it's like, right, it gives you.
It's the alpha stuff. The
alpha.
Yeah,
exactly.
the gorilla, the baboon. Right. Inside of you.
Right. Right,
That one.
exactly that. Right, testosterone and adrenaline. And adrenaline
Yeah.
is like super fast, like Matrix style, boom, react. On the other hand, if you need to flee from the scene,
Yeah.
what happens is that cortisol and adrenaline are pumped to your body, but now the focus on your heart is more on the lower body.
Yeah.
Right? If you need to run, you need your legs. Unless you were born in the circus, then you might run away on your hands, but the chances are very slim. So you run with your legs. And cortisol makes that your body secreting sugar from the bloodstream, like for fast energy. Right? And that's the reason why you don't need to, or you cannot. It's hard to digest like vegetables and tough meat.
Priority.
There's no priority in that case. If you're in a constant stress level, you can eat as healthy as you want or can. You're not digesting, and it's not about what you eat. It's like literally it is about what you digest.
Yeah.
Right. And you can eat as healthy as possible. It's just very fancy, expensive poo.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Going back to the breathing, flow state, and then level up, right?
Yeah.
Nose breathing on a higher level, nose breathing in, mouth breathing out. Then start mouth breathing in, mouth breathing out. And then you come to that level where even that level is hard.
It's not enough anymore.
It's not enough. You need like pure survival, right? Pure survival. What happens then is that you start to inhale, right? Like an asthma patient, right? Right? You need to suck in that air.
Yeah.
And that is where your head is rushing. Oh my goodness, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Right? This is too much. I'm not coming out of this. This is scary. Oh my hell, like, and then you feel as if you're like sucked into this like one cell. Like
you don't have wide vision anymore. It's
exactly
narrow
it's
vision.
Narrow vision, yeah, absolutely. And then all you want to do is like crawl up in a ball, put your thumb in your mouth, and just be quiet for a moment in your cocoon of like silence, right? And that is a freeze state.
Yeah.
To come out of that, it is possible, obviously, and I think we've all been there once or twice, like a couple times, and it is scary because it seems to take a very long time, right? But overall, it might take a minute or two, which in that case is a very long time. But if you are aware of the fact that you're in that state, then it's more okay, because then you have a handle to hold on to. Mental handle. What you can do is bring back your state by literally bringing back your state. If you know how you've been breathing in the previous stages, you can bring it back. It's like you're shifting back in your car, like gears, right? You're going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 type of car you have, and then go back, not all the way like from the highway back from 6 to 1, because then your car will blow up, right?
Doesn't like it.
No, it doesn't like it. In that case, it does not make sense.
You want to slowly go down.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense to start breathing through your nose immediately. You're
not going to be able to do it.
You're not going to be able to do it. What you need to do is bring your breathing back. Start by being aware of how you breathe at that moment. Survival mode. Like it sounds more like crying than breathing, right? And then just take conscious mouth breaths in and also mouth breaths out. But try to slow it down just a little bit, that it feels slightly uncomfortable to breathe in that rhythm. Right? And it goes a little faster, but then all of a sudden you feel that stage is also uncomfortable because you're not in that state anymore. Right? Then what you can do is try to take a nose breath in and a mouth breath out, and etc. And then nose breath in, nose breath out, but longer breaths, bigger breaths, and then all of a sudden you
get control back.
You get control back, right? It's building up the pyramid by intention and building down the pyramid by intention.
And it's good for people to know this, because I think when we also talk about stress, it's good to get to that point. It's good to get, let's say it rough, a little bit more stress on your ass, right?
Definitely.
To get through it, to return to a state, because you let it all out. And sometimes it's good to let it all out instead of trying to force yourself back. Shift extra, right? Put a little bit of extra gas on it, and then you will shift back easier because you pushed through it instead of always trying to shift back. And it's a different. You can work both ways, but sometimes it's easier for some people to push through and then return. And the easy one is in a heavy workout. It's easier to do it instead of in life, because where would you do it, right? Yeah. So in a good workout, it's possible to relieve stress easily by going through.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you say. If you know what the stress response is doing, like I explained earlier, it pumps blood through your upper body or lower body. It pushes you towards a physical state, mobilization, right? Yeah. Going towards or away from. If you know that, and you did the state check, and you know in what state you are at, like today. Yeah. Let's go back to the example of the lady, right? She has a stressful job. She's working from home. She has a family. She has a husband that's not working like together. Like there's a lot of stress and anxiety. Continuously. Just by breathing alone can help a lot. Yeah. But then there's still the physical aspect, right? Stress needs to be expressed. It needs to get out. Yeah. Like in the most literal way, it needs to get out. It doesn't mean that she needs to pound her husband in the face, right? Or run away and never come back. That's not per se what I say. What I say is that you need to express the stress state. Yeah. And the best way to do it, and you hear it more often, is to blow off steam. How do you blow off steam? Just go for a run or go to your gym, which is harder during this time.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe, yeah. You can still. There seems to be a good workout program. It's called Ground Zero. Yeah. You heard of it?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
My goodness.
Sounds and looks awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Like a Hollywood scene.
Yeah. Like good looking people in those videos too.
Yeah. Like sexist jokes and all. Oh. You need to express that energy. Right. The easiest way is to go for a run. If that's the state that you're in. If you feel like you have a little bit of restless legs and you just want to move, and you can constantly. Do you know those people that are constantly tapping their foot, like super anxious? I have that problem sometimes. Oh my good, let's go for a run. Let's go for a sprint. Let's
always know that I need to move, and I do a lot of this.
Get that energy out. Yeah. Get it out. Right. On the other hand, and that's when you often flee from whatever task you have to do that you think, actively or inactively, doesn't really matter, that you cannot cope with it. Yeah. Right? If you have a deadline and you think, oh my God, I'm never going to make it, right? What do you want to do? You want to run away from it. Yeah. If you have a deadline and it's giving that little bit of pressure on you, but you feel as if you can take it, right? Then you're fighting it in a way, right? For the good cause. In this case, you're not merely surviving; it's just that your job is surviving, right? But still, to get that energy out, a good example is to punch a punching bag, or grab a slam ball or a wall ball and just toss it in the air or pound it in the floor as hard as you can. Throw it on the ground. Or get a pillow. Super easy. Get a pillow and just punch it on your bed. Yeah, right? That works.
Yeah, even if you're not totally there, if you notice you're fleeing a little bit, and you want to get to a fight, it helps. Just try it. And the first few might be half-ass, but with a lot of these things, it's fake it till you make it. Yep. And once you start with the faking, you will make it, right? You will get there. Yep. So just throw it out, get it out. Yep. Whenever I feel because I like strength workout, I like let's say bench. I like bench press. But when I think a heavy bench, when I go for really heavy, when not 1 RM but heavy, let's say for a couple of reps, I always doubt. There's always a doubt. What if I cannot get it off my chest? Right? There's a doubt. That's a doubt in bench press. You don't have that in a lot of reps, but or a lot of exercise, but in bench you do. Before I'd always fake, and what I fake, I just make myself like the gorilla. I pound on my chest. I open my eyes wide like I'm going for a psycho fight. And then I get on that bench. First, I have to trick my mind into thinking, all right, fuck it. This is my fight mode. I have to get it all out in there. And then I do it instead of just laying down with the doubt in my mind and the stress of, will I get it off my chest? No. Fight. Let's go. Let's get it.
You don't go under, especially in a bench press, because you're lying under. You literally pin yourself down under a heavy bar. It doesn't get more scary than that. Same goes for back squats. right? Back squats and bench press are both like pretty scary, especially
It's
if
on
they're
you.
super. It's
Yeah.
the weight is on you. It's
You're
pushing.
gonna think, what if?
Yeah, what if? Yeah, it feels way different than a heavy deadlift.
Yeah.
Picking something off the floor, if it doesn't go up, you just let go, right? If you let go on the bench press, like, my goodness, right? You might like break some bones there.
Yeah, but
that's scary.
That's the mental aspect. But that's why it helps to get through a state. 2 words a state by faking it.
Yep.
And like you said, if you want to pound something, or if you need to get to a fight state, get there.
Yep.
If you notice you're fleeing away from stuff, fix your state.
Yep.
With a couple of big breaths, punching something, doing something, it helps change that mind.
The thing that I wanted to say in the previous podcast, we're talking about mindset now, is like, if you have a job where you need to do like presentations, for instance, I don't know, you need to be instead of a crowd, which is more likely to be a online crowd now than offline crowd.
It's
but
even
still,
worse for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. What you can do to pump yourself up is to get yourself into a powerful position.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm sitting like this now, I'm obviously now in a relaxed way. I don't need to do this, but if I feel if I doubt my presentation, if I doubt or if I'm insecure about what I'm going to say, what I can do is, like you said, fake it till you make it. Just take a big posture. Like raise your arms up in the air. Like do this. Like get this like big position. Like open up your eyes, because that is what you do when you're What do you do when you're like vision someone who is scared, vision someone who is like exactly, who is anxious or like boom. They have eyes wide open. Why? Because you need to see your threat. Like, where's it coming from?
Yeah.
If you close your eyes, you cannot see it. You won't survive. Right? It's that easy. So open your eyes, even open your mouth, and get this very stupid position. Right? Super tall, super big. Make yourself as long and tall, as big as possible.
Yeah.
And stand there for a minute.
Yeah.
And then with your mouth open, breathe in through your mouth. Right? That is the most powerful thing. 1-2 minutes, and you feel different.
Yeah.
Like, you can try it right now.
True.
Yeah. Same goes for the total opposite. Like, lie down on the floor in a ball, like with or without your thumb in your mouth, doesn't really matter. But close yourself off, close your eyes, and then see how you feel.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna get you different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, a little bit of mindset talk.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
And that's why we talked about the working out part and getting to certain aspects. It helps you, right? Yeah. For me, like I said, I love the fight. I love the fight. You know, the fight mode is what I did for years and what I still love. The pump, the pushing, the feeling of my muscles tearing, right? That's what I love. I love that kind of pain. Yeah. Flow state is hard for me. Yeah. I'm not used to it. I have to work towards it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I'm not an organized person, so I think that's quite intertwined, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not the one who likes organization. I like it to be a little bit of chaos, and so it's all intertwined. So if you want to be able to get better at something, you have to work towards it. So I make myself flow sometimes, just to get better at other aspects of life, right? So it's whatever you. So if you notice you're always in a stress mode, either try to flow and get yourself back a spot, or push yourself beyond it. That's it. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. So either getting back or pushing beyond, trying not to stay in the same state.
No, it's hard to if you're a stressful person if you're in a stressed state, it is hard to go back from that state. Yeah. If you find yourself, you do that state check and you go, oh shit, my heart is racing. Oh shit, here we go. Right? What you can do is try to bring your heart rate and your breath rate down. Yeah. But then still you're working, and then it can go like both ways. Either you're fighting your state and therefore expressing it, or what you can do is to be and express that state. Yeah. Right. If you think, okay, I'm stressed, I need to release this energy. Like, take a couple big breaths, express that energy, express that sensation, express that feeling. Yeah. and I say express, right? It is expression, like facial expression, like physical expression, like mental expression, like a verbal expression. All of it works to get that energy out. And a trick question, but do you know the opposite of expression? Depression, right? If you don't express, it is held back and therefore depressed. And if you do it long enough, well, I don't need to tell you where you go to.
Yeah, right? It's good stuff.
Right. No. Yeah. So, and then, well, going like maybe all the way back, but that's like flowing over my story. Not per se depression, but holding back energy for long enough made me find myself in a burnout.
Yeah.
Right. Because I was not paying attention of the physical and mental sensations that I had at that moment. The signals that I got, I wasn't looking at it. I purely ignored it, everything. I slept like shit. I like 2-3 hours a night was like max, right? And then broken down into pieces.
Awesome.
Which I sort of held back or taped together the next day by drinking shitloads of coffee. So coffee was running through my veins and I didn't sleep, right? I could see sounds and all that stuff. It was different, like it was weird.
For you, that was normal, right?
That was my norm. That was my norm, yeah. And then like putting your head in the sand, I don't know if that's also an English phrase, but like je kop in het zand steken.
Yeah. Ostrich yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It made, and I was doing I was working as an immigration officer, like military police, all that stuff. So I was carrying a gun and all. So like, gives a little stress as well. Working in shift work gives more stress on your metabolic system. And then during a training, we did a shooting training on the range, and then like later that day we had a like a case work where you work together with your colleagues, and sometimes the case says that you have to pull your gun, which is then like made safe by putting sort of a pencil in it that you can see that it is safe. But in order to do that, you need to take that thing apart, put that pencil in, bring it back together. It's not an actual pencil, it's just a yellow stick, but that you can see it. The thing was that I was not paying attention that day, and I didn't like unload my gun the right way. So in order to take it apart, you need to take off the pressure by pulling the trigger, and then normally you hear like click, right? And I hear a very loud, like blistering loud boom, and I was, what the hell was this? And at that moment, I didn't realize it was me, so I was looking to my right, and I see everybody looking to the left. So I thought, all right, there's someone on the other side that is being so stupid to fire his gun. So I was looking to the left, and then like everybody on that side was looking to the right, which made me the instant, center. The center. So I was like, oh my goodness! And then, like from a Hollywood scene, I was looking at my gun, and you see that like draft of smoke coming from it. Like, what the fuck is this? And I had no clue. I had no idea. So I all of a sudden I lost like everything, and I didn't know what to do anymore. So I put that thing on the floor. I said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." Like a mic drop, but then with the gun. I'm out. I didn't know. I had no clue.
And that was your moment of, all right, I have to fix it.
Yeah, fix your shit. That was my my realization moment. Like, this is not good.
That was a hard wake-up call, right? Because a gunshot is a hard wake-up call. That's a loud one.
Yeah, yes.
And a real expressive one.
Yeah.
I hope most of us don't have that wake-up call.
I hope so.
I hope they get lots of time beforehand.
Yeah.
Right? To wake up, to think.
Yeah.
That's why when we talk about it, we need to have that state check. We need to have control of ourselves entirely.
Don't ignore. That's the biggest thing that I want to give everybody. Do not ignore the signals. Like there's so many signals. Just learn to listen to it.
Right, and we have so many people that can help you or anyone around you. Mr. Voelvis is always ready to help.
Exactly.
Let's close off with that, right? Because it's time. So we are through with our time. And if you have any questions or you need to know more about breathwork or about how to release stress or tension from yourself the right ways, contact him, right? Voelvis, Mr. Beard.
Exactly. Find me.
You can find him to talk more about this. And try a breathing session. It really is awesome. It really helps. Yeah. And once you tried it, you think, all right, this it doesn't have to take a lot of time to relieve some tension, to be better yourself, and to get better habits of yourself.
If you're in this, we worked on this today, but I'm working on I'm doing breathing assessments.
Yeah.
So if you think you are someone that has their head up in the sand, right, get it out. Just find me, do a breathing assessment. It's like 30 to 45 minutes. Just take a look at your breath, and then see in what state you are, just to get to see the signals if they are there.
Yeah.
If your breathing is fine, your state is fine, nothing on the hand, then you're all fine, right? And then it's still good to know, like, what is your body telling you.
And it can also help you improve with your workouts, improve you getting a little bit more relaxed during other times.
Yep. Yeah.
So it just helps
we can take it to so many levels. Yeah. Like, it's not merely like stress state. You want to work on your workouts, it's all fine.
Like we said, breathing is the entire day. So it helps you the entire day.
Let's make it better.
All right.
Yeah.
So we cut it off right there?
I think that's good.
All right.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.